RTW, Great Battles of the American Civil War, looking at it. The Dunkard Church part of the Antietam battle, early morning. I was wondering about the stacking changes, why the stacking limits were doubled when I looked at the game-specific tables for Gleam of Bayonets versus what's in the standard rules. It's spelled out, as I should have wondered, as I should have expected. It's spelled out in the exclusive rules. They halved the number of soldiers to strength point. They halved that, which doubled the stacking limits. Makes perfect sense. Okay, I'm kind of moving through the main pieces of the sequence of play. I'm going to skip over ammunition resupply for now. Go to rally, which I want to look at the concept of rout. Obviously, I have this unit right here, the 4th Texas back here, currently routed. I think that's it. So what do I do? So the general concept of routing. Retreat before melee phase first. We already talked about that. Rally phase pin markers are removed. We don't have any pin markers, I think. I don't remember any pin markers, but pin markers are removed from the phasing player's units. The phasing player may rally his routed units, which are stacked with leaders or in the effectiveness radius of their brigade commander. So, first of all, Fort Texas belongs to Wofford. Wofford's way up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what is going on there? Brigade commander, effectiveness rating is the far left. So, Wofford does have effectiveness rating radius of 4. So, Fort Texas routed units definitely outside that. So, may rally his routed units stacked with leaders or so what do I do otherwise? A die is rolled to determine whether or not independent units rally. Alright. Movement of routed units, routed unit or units which... Oh, I'm sorry. A routed unit or unit which is out of the effectiveness radius of its brigade commander may move 1 hex only. So does that mean he has to spend movement phases moving 1 hex at a time in order to get in Wofford's effectiveness radius? I wonder. Routed units are always considered enfiladed when fired upon. That's obviously important. What's the practical effect of that, though? I guess I'll get to that later. If a unit is routed as a result of combat, all units in the hex must undergo morale checks, even if they do not suffer any losses. All units in the hex take fire before checking for rout. Okay. Rout. Obviously, we have the pin/R result and the P and the R results from fire combat. Routed units may become pinned and remain routed. Alright. A combat result of P or R requires a morale check for the affected unit. A die is rolled. If the result is greater than the unit's morale, it is pinned or routed, respectively. Some numerical results are followed by an asterisk, which indicates that the affected unit may also become pinned. After the casualty is recorded, a morale check is executed for that unit. If the unit routs, no further action is taken. If the unit does not rout, a second die is rolled. A result greater than the unit's morale level results in the unit becoming pinned. There's definitely a step procedure to checking for routing and pinning. Not losses, though. Losses are pretty much a straight numerical result from the fire combat results table. Not sure about melee yet. Let's say a unit suffering casualties during withdrawal fire is treated as if it had suffered casualties during any regular fire phase. The owning player must roll for possible rout or leader loss, etc. Retreating routed units that suffer casualties from retreat fire do not roll for additional rout. Okay. Supply wagons. If the crew is killed or routes away from the wagon counter is turned over to indicate its uncrewed status. Where are those? Huh. I don't remember seeing those, but I'm sure there they are. Wagon crew. Wagon crew. Oh, it's wagon crew. And I guess they're wagon units. Just hadn't noticed them. Supply wagon crews. Rout. Small arms fire results. Small arms fire results. Rout. The crew rout. Oh, this is for the wagons. Okay. We have all of that. I mean, for wagons. Melee combat. Effects of morale and rout on melee. If a routed unit defends against melee, that unit defends at 1/2 its current strength, rounded down. That's easy. Routed units may not initiate melee. That makes sense. If engaged in melee, a routed unit must retreat from melee if possible. If engaged in melee, a routed unit must retreat from melee if possible. Oh, right, the retreat before melee. I assume they mean. If the routed units cannot retreat from the melee without entering an enemy zoc, it is captured. A pinned or routed unit may not be retreated before melee. Wait, that seems to contradict what I just said. Huh. Maybe I misunderstood that first part, so I'll look at that again later. Morale and rout. Here we go. Here's the core. Routed units are forced to retreat and they remain routed until rallied. Routed units are restricted in what they can do. That's probably the movement thing here. When units are routed, let's see, a rout marker is placed on a unit that is routed and removed when it is rallied. Okay, so there it spells out a rout marker like this one. A rout marker is placed on the counter and removed when it is rallied. So that makes me wonder. Oh, maybe it's in the exclusive rules, but why is there a routed side to the counter? Every single unit, certainly every infantry unit, has a routed back side. So why do you have a routed back side when you have rout markers? I still don't have the answer to that, but I will continue on. All casualties are taken prior to determining rout. Makes sense. Unlimited guns never rout. However, their crews may rout, thus abandoning the guns. Effects of rout. Units that are routed must retreat 3 hexes. That's what he did here. He was here. 1, 2, 3 straight back. In addition to any other retreats that may have been mandated in that combat phase, routed units may not engage in any kind of fire combat. They may not initiate melee. And they defend at half strength, rounded down in melee. Defended units have a movement allowance of 1 hex per turn. There we go. Regardless of terrain costs, routed units may not retreat before melee. So there it is again. And they have no zone of control. A unit that is routed and suffers additional casualties while in a state of rout will rout again. Routed units suffering a second rout result, for example, from a P/R result on the fire CRT, must retreat an additional 3 hexes, remaining routed. Routed units that become pinned are both pinned and routed. Oh. But a pinned unit that routs is no longer pinned, it is routed. So routed units that become pinned are both pinned and routed, but a pinned unit that routs is no longer pinned, it is routed. Okay. Leaders are never routed. They are not affected in any way by a rout result. Good. Alright, effects of stacking on rout. If there's more than one unit in a hex for which a morale check is necessary, each unit is checked separately. Okay, I don't think I've violated that yet. If there is no rout, the morale of the unit beneath is... Oh, this is, I guess, important. Well, especially now that I have more stacks here on my little play area. If only the top unit is affected by the combat, as in fire, that unit's morale is checked first. If there is no rout, the morale of the units beneath is not checked. If the top unit routs, the morale of all units under it must be checked. Furthermore, if the top unit is eliminated entirely, the morale of the unit beneath it must be checked as if it were the top unit. Rally. Routed units remain routed until they are rallied in a friendly rally phase. That gets back to my 4th Texas here. Routed artillery gun crews, supply wagon crews, independent units may rally without leaders. If such a unit has been routed, the player rolls 1 die during the rally phase. Okay, etc., etc., etc. Alright, so what do I do? Units may... no. Presence of friendly units in retreat. Oh, I was wondering about that during some earlier play. There's the whole section. We'll get to that when it happens. Artillery and gun crews. Special cavalry rules, which I guess makes sense. That's it. So that, I guess I'll take that literally to mean he can't rally because he's not within the effectiveness radius of his brigade commander. So he has to move 1 hex per turn to get back into radius. Oh, I'll go with that for now. I will go with that for now. So that's rout. That's the rally phase. You know, it would have been the rally phase of the Union anyways. But let's do that. So that was the Union rally phase. Yeah, that's the phasing player. Yeah, it's not both players. All right, final command phase. We won't worry about that now. So now let's do the second player turn, which I'm just having to be the Confederates here. Initial command. So what? The phasing player, okay, is the Confederates now. Attach and detach brigades that are within the divisional integrity radius of a division commander. Player checks divisional integrity radius to determine which brigade commanders are. I do need to do that. So, all right. So let's see. Okay, divisional integrity radius determine which brigade commander. So Wolford goes to Hood, which is there. So, which is the leaders. Whoa. Divisional commander. So Hood here as an 8 and a 3. So divisional commander counters have 2 rating numbers. The first is that commander's divisional integrity radius, and the second is his command points rating. The divisional integrity radius, 8 in Hood's case, right there, is the maximum number of hexes a subordinate brigade leader or commander may be away from his division commander and still be able to move. So he's well within Longstreet's, or Hood's 8. And do you go up? Other commanders. Oh, there may be other commanders in a game, and the effects of those commanders are detailed in the exclusive rules for that game. Okay. Well, I won't. I'll just go division. I'll just go brigade commander to division commander. So here's D.H. Hill. He has 6. So he's got Colquitt and McRae. Yeah. Oh, wait, we have Law right way up here. He goes to Hood as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But no, I guess that tracing is fine, actually. Okay, so it's actually for Hood, it's Wolford and Law There. Okay. And then Ripley here to DH Hill, and then Colquitt and McRae to DH Hill. That's funny that Ripley has that graphic. Huh. I'm sure there's a story behind that. Okay. So that is important. But what happens if a division commander is... Division commanders makes... Okay, and then the division commanders may expend command points to increase the effectiveness radius of subordinate brigade commanders. I like that a lot. Oh, I guess... do I do... In addition, the player checks the divisional integrity rates to determine which brigade members are in command. Phasing player then checks the effectiveness radii of all his brigade commanders to see whether the units within each brigade commander's command may move and fire. So, yeah, but what do you do? I don't remember. I don't remember seeing out of command markers either. Because obviously the routed unit is out. Alright, Wofford. That's probably at Law. Ripley. And these guys are all in because I brought them on. I put them on the map now. Okay. So that's that. That's the initial command phase for the phasing player, the Confederates at this point. Let's go right to, yeah, we have the movement phase. Movement is really simple, straightforward. Not much to it. Where do the Confederates even want to go? Ooh, Wolford's got the 1st Texas way up here, who's kind of getting cut off. And he's not in an enemy Zoc, so he'll just come back. The question is where he wants to come back to. So as I understand it, changing facing doesn't cost anything, but you do have to move forward in the very general. I still haven't figured out if you have to literally move into the front hex or if you can move into any front hex like that. I don't know, because if you move like this, you're not actually moving into the exact hex you're facing. I don't know that yet. There we go down and in the cornfield. Okay. I think that's 2, 3, 4. Something like that. Laws. Oh, he's out in the open. So he's going to move. Move into the cornfield, which again is 2. There, Law, okay. Well, I'm not going to give up this ground, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, see, 4, 5. There. Well, some fight in the cornfield there. These guys aren't going to move because they want to open up with some artillery fire. That'll be the first thing I get to next, I think. Artillery fire. Well, I guess I moved the routed guy. I already talked about that. So there, now he's within the 4. Now he's within divisional integrity radius. Wait, effectiveness radius of Wofford. He'll move 5th Texas up. Like that. Yeah. And I have Colquitt and McRae back here. This is crossing a stream and into a... Oh, this is crossing a stream and going up 1 level and going into a cornfield. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for up crest. You only wanted to move 1 hex anyways, but here we go. That's just across the stream. And there. Alright.